everybody? Jake's got a good show for you today. Trey Campbell's going to be here. Um, he's been on the show before. You're going to love Trey. And the podcast official weatherman, Frankie McDonald, will be here. And we have a surprise guest that will be here right after Frankie. So you don't want to miss that. We're just going to jump right into it. Trey Campbell, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, man? How's everything going over there? I
It's-
think in Dayton, right?
yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
going really well. Can't complain. The weather's nice out. So how about you?
Yeah, it's going all right over here in Houston. It's finally sunny. It'd been raining all week, so it's finally good that everything's kind of turned around. But yeah, things are going swimmingly.
Good. Happy to hear that. Uh, the big thing I wanted to talk to you about today was your appearance on Kill Tony. Now, that shocked me when I was sitting there watching it live. They say your name and it hits, but it doesn't quite, you know? They say Trey Campbell, then they say another name.
Yeah,
And the next thing you know, you come out and that blew me away. But I want to start way from the beginning if you don't mind.
sure, yeah.
When when you were preparing to be on Kill Tony, did you have that minute in mind, or is that one you've been doing this for a while? Is that one that you kind of slapped together because you knew it was going to work?
Yeah, I kind of put together all the ones that I knew got laughs because I've been doing comedy for about a year and a half now. So I kind of just wrote those together. I knew kind of what I would say if I ever got pulled. But really, the material was easy. I knew my material pretty well because I do about a mic every night here in Houston. But
Nice.
um, but yeah, like the thing I prepared the most for was the interview. So if I knew that if I had interesting things to say in the interview, it would go pretty well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of been writing that for a while, and I kind of knew what I needed to say and what was going to get laughs. I would imagine.
Now, just for people that are watching that don't know the show, basically what happens is there's a guy named Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband. They host the show. They have guests that come up. There's usually one or two that sit with them, make a panel. Then they pull comedians out of a hat. They come up or out of a bucket. And they come up. They do a minute, and then the panel gets back to them about what they liked, what they didn't like, and usually it's a roast up there.
Yeah.
This time was different, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. How many times were you trying to get on Kill Tony before you got pulled this time?
So this was probably my seventh time that I'd signed up. A lot of people don't remember, but back in 2022, I was on episode 540, I believe. It was me and William, and me and Tony had this idea that I would go up and play like William's long lost brother, but I kind of switched it up on him and I decided to be William's long lost son.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun. I was really drunk both times, but yeah, it was a great time. This time was a little bit different, but after that, I'd signed up about 6 or 7 times, and I signed up at Vulcan, and I signed up at Shakespeare's. I think maybe 3 times,
Hmm.
and I guess the fourth time was the charm. But yeah, it was really crazy. I did not expect to go up. So before I was drinking a lot of vodka Red Bulls and just hanging out with my friends that went with me. But when they called me, it was insane. I didn't know. I was worried, but as soon as I got up there, it all kind of just clicked. The light turned on. But yeah, about 6 or 7 times.
Okay. Now take us through the entire process. Like let's start when you got out of your car. As soon as you get out of your car, you go straight to the bar to sign up, or
Yeah. So what happened was me and my friend Isaac went. I told my friend Isaac, and he just kind of decided he was gonna go with me. And so we drove up there, and we got out. We parked. We went to the open mic sign up list for the mothership, and I signed up for the open mic. And because there's an open mic right before Kill Tony that you can do 3 minutes, and
oh,
the smaller room. So I went in there and signed up, and they put me on the list for that. And I went up on the open mic and did really well from what I could remember. This was before I got drunk, but I went up on the open mic, and then after that, I went to this bar called Shakespeare's. It's the bar next door, and they kind of funnel everybody out, and they walk them through the alleyway if you get pulled, and you kind of wait back behind the stage before the next person goes up, and then you go up and you do your thing, and then you leave. They give you a joke book, and I walked out through the backstage area, and they basically just kind of told me, "Hey, Red Band liked you. We'll have you on the secret show. Let me get your information and all that." And the rest was kind of history. Then I went back to Shakespeare's and did another sort of mic because they do a mic at Shakespeare's too. So I did that, and then I went home. But that was pretty much the process of getting on and getting pulled. But yeah, it's really crazy. It's not what it used to be, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because used to they would have your social media handle and everything. And I thought that was a lot better because there's some interesting guests on there, and it's
Yeah.
hard to follow them because you don't know where to follow them at. And somebody like, I forget what the guy's name was. He was the mute guy who couldn't speak. And
Oh yeah, yeah. Aaron, I think
yeah,
Bilal. Yeah,
yeah. Now, how the hell am I supposed to find that? Like, I found him, but like his name's spelled all different, and it's
yeah,
really complicated name. And I just found him because I typed in mute comedian after I got tired searching for his name.
yeah. I think I'm surprised they didn't give out my social medias either, because when you sign up, you put your Instagram name on there. But my handwriting's really bad, so it might have been hard for him to read. But overall, I think they were in a hurry because right before I went up, or right after I went up, is when they brought Ari and Mark Norman in, and they were trying to keep it moving. But
Yeah.
it was cool. Like Tony was really a lot more, I guess, congenial than he is with other guests. And it was
Yeah.
had a great time. Yeah,
William Montgomery during his set brought up the fact that, well, I don't know if it's a fact yet. We're going to find out. He
yeah.
said that you guys were out in his car.
Yeah, that's true. We
Okay.
were out at yeah, we were out. We weren't doing snorting Adderall, but no, that is true. We were and we weren't in his car. We were out by Shakespeare. I said hi to him,
Oh,
and
okay.
he said hi too. But because anytime I see him, I'll say hi to him, and he'll he's a good guy. But yeah, we did hang out before the show. We didn't snort Adderall though.
Okay. I was going to ask who asked who and how that all went. It sounded like an interesting story.
Yeah, I like to go along with it when people ask me about it IRL. They'll be like, if they're a fan and they've seen the show, they'd be like, "Did you and William really snort Adderall in his car?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, that's what we were doing." But no, we weren't snorting Adderall. I just said hi to him. But yeah, it's really it's William. I kind of try to play off William sometimes if I see him. Like the first time I met him, I I was all like, "Yeah, I'm William's brother." Like William was like, "Yeah, this is my brother," and I just kind of played along with it. But I guess that's the one of the rules of improv. You got to do yes ands
Yeah.
sometimes, and I try to do yes ands with everybody.
Yeah. William is a great yes and guy because he says stuff and you just, I mean, he's a prankster, but he says it with such confidence.
Yeah, totally.
All right, guys. Frankie McDonald has showed up. Let me bring him up. What's
Look
going
who
on,
it
buddy?
is.
I'm doing great so far. Then it got snow heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia tomorrow. It's going to bring lots of snow in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia. And tomorrow on the 29th, it's going to bring lots of snow in Sydney and Halifax and parts of New Brunswick and Maine, USA. It's going to bring lots of rain in Los Angeles later on in the week. It's going to advance on Houston, Texas on Friday. It's going to hit Arizona where Gary Deal is. It's going to hit New Mexico. It's going to hit Texas. It's going to hit Florida. From California, the storm's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Los Angeles on Thursday. It's going to bring lots of heavy rain there on Thursdays. And down South America, lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in South America right now, like Brazil and Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and those places. It's really, really dry in northern Chile. It's really, really dry in northern Chile right now. It's a desert. And it's lots of rain up on the coast areas, snow in the mountains in Chile. It's southern hemisphere summer right now. There's a lot of storms in Iceland right now. England's cold warmer is going to turn colder. Then you got a big cold air heading for Eastern Europe later on in the week. It's going to bring really cold temperatures, snow in Turkey and all those places. Lots of storms come off and goes to Japan with rain and snow. They got colder temperatures up in Sapporo, Japan, and South Korea, in northern China, Mongolia, all those places. India is really, really dry right now. Lots of rain going on in Indonesia and Philippines right now. It's dry in Bangkok, Thailand, including Vietnam and Laos right now during the dry season. Lots of rain and thunderstorms in Sri Lanka right now. Lots of rain and thunderstorms in southern Congo, Mozambique, Madagascar, and Botswana, and Zimbabwe, Zambia. Right now, Lareunion, and Mauritius Islands. There's parts of a rainstorm hitting for parts of South Island, New Zealand, early this week as well. In Australia, northern Australia, lots of thunderstorms and rain going on right now. It's just battered by a cyclone. It's dry in central Australia. Antarctica is dark for 24 hours a day in Antarctica. It's starting to get some darkness there in Antarctica, and it's dark for 24 hours a day, starting to get daylight up in Nunavut and things like this up above the Arctic Circle, because of the plan. Once again, on March 19th, sun reaches equator.
That's really interesting, Frankie. I had you on last week, and you didn't quite answer the question, so I'm going to ask one more time. Did you burn down David Chandler's neighbor's house?
No.
Okay, I didn't think you did, but we didn't get a straight answer last time. It kind of seemed a little shady. You want to say hi to David Chandler real quick?
Hi, David Chandler.
All right. You also recently invented a word. What was that?
Cow Wealth, January 2023.
What does cow wealth mean?
And that means that's a word I made up back in the 1990s when I was only a little boy.
That's awesome. So what made you come up with cow wealth?
That was my idea long time ago.
Nice. How old were you?
I was before 10 years old back in the day.
Oh, wow. That was really early, and you kept it a secret for a long time.
Yes.
Wow. One other thing I wanted to ask you. I was talking to a guy, his name's Michael Ray Bauer. He was saying that the moon is made of plasma. Because
the moon's made of rocks.
Yeah.
And so it's like Earth.
He said that you can see stars through the moon. Do you believe that?
No.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of times where the videos he was talking about anyway, where it seemed like you could, but I don't know. We got another question for you, Frankie. It's where do you want to live? That's by Jake. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Right now, I live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Did you hear about this? I was at the Rib Fest last summer. I had ribs and chicken and things like this. It went great.
Nice. I like ribs.
Yeah, me too. Ribs are great.
Then it got total solar eclipse for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where would you ultimately want to live?
Unknown yet.
Okay.
And guess what? There's a total solar eclipse headed for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024. All you guys are heading for Sydney.
We're going to try, Frankie.
Yeah. And I heard there's a snowstorm coming your way. Are you prepared for that?
Yes. And I'm prepared for that. In Los Angeles, rainstorm that Trevor Garner is. He's getting a lot of rain Thursday.
And Frankie, I don't want to frighten you, but there's a bear behind you.
I don't see any bears. That's just like Bass Guy made up that joke, the Bass Guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he did that.
And I found out Bass Guy's getting this inside of his apartment building gutted in March. It's going to take a few months for his apartment to be renovated.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Where's he going to stay, Frankie?
Don't know yet. That means that Bass Guy's working on the album, the Jack Casey, a.k.a. Bass Guy Show. He's working on a music album for his 50th birthday on October 19, 2024.
Nice.
He's going to be 50 years old on October 19th.
Wow. Jesse Tyler says, what's up?
What's up? I'm doing great so far.
Yeah, you remember Jesse. We did a show together just a little while ago. Yeah, I think me and Jesse and Trey Campbell and you, we would make a good night show.
Yeah. We it'd be like who would be the? I guess you'd be the host. I could be kind of the Santino of the group, and Frankie can drop in and give us weather updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it sounds
night
like
show.
fun.
And then your
Yeah.
Roger the Wild Child show will be back on the air next month.
That's right, Frankie. It's going to be a ton of shows coming back next month.
Yeah, you're
Roger the Wild Child show.
gonna be busy, Frankie.
Yeah, Jesse Tyler says, I saw you on Kill Tony and you killed it, dude. Nicely done.
Thank you so much. I would have probably did better if I wasn't so drunk. But,
I don't
thank
know,
you.
man. You killed that set. And you killed the interview too. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but it was very, very good performance. It was shocking. Well, I mean, I know you're a good dude and everything, but how the panel reacts sometimes, it was shocking to see them warm up to you the way they did.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised too. Sam Talent was really cool. Like, it was kind of just, I was glad it was Sam Talent. I don't know how I would have reacted if Ari was up there, but Sam Talent's one of my favorites. So I was really excited to get to talk to him.
Good to see you in the chat, Jesse. Thanks for stopping by. Going back to Kill Tony, I wanted to ask about the bar scene. How many people are usually there, and do they hang out in the alley or mostly in the bar?
Yeah, they all kind of hang out in that bar at Shakespeare's. They used to hang out in the alley, but I think the state told them to stop because people were selling beer and it got too rowdy. So they moved them into the bar. But usually there's about 250, 250 to 260. And they're all just kind of hanging out in there, like schmoozing with all the other comics, trying to get on shows. The thing is with Kill Tony, that there's like two facets about it that make it so interesting. When you get all these comics together, comics are always going to try and find an angle to get on shows, and a lot of them are able to do that, and that's kind of cool. But it's sort of a show within the show.
Have you thought about doing stand-up comedy, Frankie?
Stand-up comedy going to every country in the world.
Yeah. Have you thought about doing it in your hometown to get prepared for your world?
I'm on Compound Media every Monday to Thursday afternoons.
That's nice. What do you do over there on Compound, Frankie? You just give the weather?
Yes, and things like this, and great so far.
Right.
And it's just played some of my videos and things like this.
Who's your favorite Compound show?
I like them doing Gino Bisconte is the host of the Hot Water Show.
All right.
That's your boy, Frankie, Gino Piscante.
And Aaron Burke left Compound Media on April 21st, 2022.
Really? Did you know what that was all about?
Aaron Burke is a former co-host of In Hot Water Show. He does stand-up comedy himself.
Okay. I'd like to talk to Gino sometime. All right.
Things are great so far.
All right, Frankie, that was great. So you're on Compound Media Monday through Thursday, you said?
Yes.
That's awesome. How'd you get that?
They contacted me in January 2021.
Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. You've been doing my show longer than anybody, I think.
Since 2015. And like a Jason Russell, we don't have cookies.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Roger the Wild Child Show will be back on the air in February.
Yeah, we've always had a lot of fun. It's almost been 10 years. That's hard to believe.
Yeah. There's one thing you could say about Frankie. He's committed.
That's right.
But I think that's why people love him so much, is Frankie's commitment to making content and weather, and it's transcended all platforms because Frankie's always going to be Frankie. You never have to worry about Frankie, doing anything other than what he's doing.
Yeah. I do my comedy videos and my dancing videos.
Yep. Yeah, he's committed.
Did you see Trey Campbell on Kill Tony, Frankie?
Not yet.
Let me send you the link, Frankie. I'll send it to you. But yeah, next time I go up, I'm gonna wear one of your shirts, Frankie.
Yes, if you want to follow me on social media, my blue sky is at Frankie McD. My link tree is Frankie McDonald. My Twitter is at Frankie McD. My Facebook is Frankie McDonald. My Instagram is Frankie McD934. My TikTok is FrankDon934. My Clapper is FrankDon934. My Twitch is FrankDon 1984. My Snapchat is Frankie MEC. DOA, my YouTube channel, Stop Swoops, and my LinkedIn's Frankie Down. Best luck to you, Frankie Down. You're listening. We don't have Cookies Radio Show.
Have a great day, Frankie.
Bye, Frankie.
There you
Frankie
go.
McDonald.
The legend.
Yep. Man, I always, I'll get messages every now and again, and it'll be a link, and Frankie says, "You will join." That's my favorite. He's like, "You will join." Sometimes it's like, "I can't today, Frankie," but he's always looking out for me.
Yeah. I wondered how those emails go because he seems to send them out almost every show of mine.
Yeah, he'll be like, I'm on We Don't Have Cookies, you will join." And I'm like, "All right, Frankie, I can't today," but he's great. He
last week nobody showed up when he showed up, and he said, "Who all's in the background?" And I said, "Nobody, Frankie." And he seemed a little flustered, and he ended up messaging somebody until somebody else showed up on the show.
That's the thing about Frankie. He will I don't know why he does it, but like he will get somebody to show up. Somebody will show up. It might be somebody who's crazy, or it might be a troll, but somebody will show up. So you got to give him credit.
That's right. Do you still have your minute memorized?
Yeah, I have my 5 minutes memorized.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, sometimes I'll add new things in, but the order of that's my mom, by the way. The order of my material, I have it written down in a Google Doc, and I look at it every day for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And if I want to add anything new, I'll throw it in there. But yeah, I have my minute memorized. I have pretty much all of it locked down. So
nice.
Yeah, it's the autism, but but yeah, it's it was a fun time. I still go through it in my head every day.
Yeah, I still want to know a little bit more about that bar. Are there a lot of people that are drinking at the bar, or are they mainly just hanging out till they get called?
A lot of them are hanging out, but some of them are drinking. It's kind of like being in high school. You have like a lot of people that are just it's kind of cliquish. Everybody will be kind of going over their minute, seeing if they get called. There's also an open mic that they do, like a minute practice mic that you can go up and do. But yeah, most people are just kind of drinking or trying to network with other comics.
Yeah, I was wondering because it seems like a lot of people come up there and they talk about how fucked up they are.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if people are really out there drinking like they say or what.
Oh yeah, they're definitely drinking. Like the thing is with me, like I figured I was just gonna get on that open mic, so I was like, all right, like somebody bought me like a couple of drinks. I don't remember who, but it was another comic. He kept just giving me whiskey sours, and I just kept drinking them. But yeah, I kind of knew. I in the back of my mind, I was like, this would suck if I got called. And then like not 30 seconds later, I hear my name. So
wow.
But yeah, I went with some friends, and they were like, "You're gonna get called. You know that, right? You got to stop drinking." And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna get called."
Yeah.
But it's a fun time.
It seems like everybody who gets called is pretty surprised that they got called.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I knew that eventually I was gonna get called because I know Red Band too well, and you know, I'm already kind of I have a foot in the door in that universe because of the first time I got on. But you know, I didn't think it was gonna be that day. I just kind of went to Austin and just kind of hung out. But you know, once we got on, like, woo, I don't know what to do. I was shaking backstage, but you know, like I said, when I went up, the light just kind of went on.
Jesse Tyler says, "You're so genius, it's great."
I appreciate that. You know, I just I don't know. I can't really change. It's a blessing and a curse Because sometimes, it's easy for a lot of people to kind of see through that and get me like a lot of people want me to go to their house all the time, and it gets kind of weird. But you
Yeah.
know,
What are they asking you to do at their house?
I don't know. Sometimes they're all like, "Yeah, man, we're eating pizza," and
Oh, okay.
yeah. But it's been an adjustment for me being on Kill Tony. But I try to get to everybody because it's always good to talk to people that want to support you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. One thing I wanted to ask you about, because it seemed a little odd to me, was you mentioned that you were on Kill Tony before and that they invited you to be on.
Yeah,
And when you said that, Tony like was taken aback and said something about we invited you, and then you were like, yeah, and you kind of explained the situation with William. And Tony seemed like that wasn't true, but then he explained everything in order, and it was very true that he invited
yeah,
you. So, so what was that like initially for you to be like, yeah, I was on here before, I was invited, and then he's like, what? What are you
yeah.
talking about? You were invited, dude. That's basically what he said in short form.
I kind of should have phrased it a little bit better. I was like, yeah, I did that bit with William, and but he did, and he didn't invite me. I mean, really and truly, we kind of came up with that bit at Skankfest in 2021, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll bring you up. Oh, what a great idea! I love it." And then, he forgot, and then I went to go see William Montgomery because that's my favorite comic. I didn't expect Tony Hinchcliffe to be there. So when Tony got off stage, this was right after he got canceled. I kind of went up to him. I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you staying in Austin?" I was like, "Sure, I could come by." And he was like, "Okay, when you get here, just let me know." And like we talked about it, but I think there's a different Tony Hinchcliffe when he's hosting the show. I think when he's hosting the show, he's kind of in like host mode. But
That's
he's always been friendly with me.
that's what I've heard is if you meet him, he's one of the nicest guys. But on the show, he's a real dick, and he's kind of playing a character like a wrestling character or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it is similar to wrestling. So I don't take it too seriously because I know that I've talked to him before. The first time after the first time he gave me $50. He was all like they were like, "Is he a comic?" And he's like, "No, he's just a fan." But he came all the way from Houston, so he gave me like $50. But that was cool.
Yeah. We got Jesse Tyler in the background, going to bring him on. I'm sure he's got some questions too.
Sure.
What's up, Jesse?
Hey, good to see you guys.
You
How's
too.
it
Yeah,
going?
I do. I'm glad I got to see Trey. I've been wondering when you're going to come on. Yeah, Jason sent me your minute in your interview a couple of weeks ago. I woke up to that. I was like, hell yeah! I was like, I know that guy. So yeah, congratulations, you killed it, and yeah, I'm glad you had fun. And you got on the Secret Show as well. How did that go?
The secret show was great. The first time I got on was directly after, about a week after, and I did fine. I did 10 minutes. I
Wow.
struggled a little bit. Some jokes wouldn't land, and I kind of was like, "Ooh, that didn't work."
Yeah,
Um, if there's one thing in comedy, you don't want to tell everybody your jokes didn't work. But I kind of was nervous, and nobody really knew me. But the second time I did it, I only did 7 minutes, so I went up, and they kind of had a better idea of who I was because the episode
yeah,
had came out, and it went a lot better. I felt less pressure, but
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
was great.
Yeah, because you're not like, yeah, but that's what's funny. Everyone thinks once you make it as a comedian that you never have a bad set or tell a bad joke. It's like, no, even like the greats have bad sets or bomb at times. It's just part of it. You realize if after you have a bad set, you're like, oh, I'm still alive. Like that's just part of it. Like, but yeah, it seems like you did great at both of them. And yeah, congrats.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I didn't. I think the thing was I got laughs, but like it was a little bit more of a timid type crowd. The
Yeah.
second time was great. Like I was talking with the crowd and everything, and I was having a good time. But yeah, I mean, having a bad set or like bombing is just part of the process. If you go out and bomb like really badly, you know, it's just part of the process. But I guess we all have kind of different definitions as to what bombing means. For,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, for some people, if you go out and get laughs, that's all you, if you get like one time where they laugh, they'd say, "Oh man, I did great. I improved," because the first time they didn't get any laughs. But if it's there's levels, I guess, to bombing. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot
It's
of
like
Houston comics bomb.
exactly. You have like one bad bomb and you're like, it can't get worse than this. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I guess it can. And I agree with that. The same with having a good set. Like you like think you killed it more than you ever did. And then you have another one and you're like, holy shit, I think like they laughed even more. Like it's just, yeah, it's fun. It's the grind. It's the up and down. Like it's just like exercising. Like you're going to have days where you don't run as much or, you know, and if you have a bad set, then you come back and you fucking, you know, put more effort into it. Like, hey, I was slacking a little bit. Maybe I was like a little rusty, and then you get back at it. You know, it's not just smooth sailing for your whole career. That's part of the fun is the up and downs and trying to get every audience to laugh. And
Yeah.
it's a trip, man. Comedy is, it's like never gets old. It's always interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing I like the most about comedy is, you know, like I have this opportunity to have people listen to me. And like the way I try to approach it is even if people walk out, I like to do comedy until there's for everyone that's there. And if people walk out, I can still do comedy to like the people that are in the building. And even if
Right.
there's like two people that stayed, I could still just talk to them.
Yeah, one of my favorite open mics was this place called Grumpy's in Minneapolis, and it was like the comics open mic. Like there were barely a couple. There was a couple regulars, which was funny, but it was like 5, maybe 10 people at the most. But all the comics would come because the guy who ran it was a great comedian. Everyone liked him. But yeah, that was just like all the comics in the back, and we'd try out new stuff. And if the comics laughed, you had a good set. You know, if not, like
Yeah.
it's funny what mics you kind of like, or yeah, it doesn't really matter as much how many people. It's like just about getting your jokes out and making sure you have a good set. It's all you can do, really.
Yeah, totally. We have sort of a home mic as well down here in Houston. It's for me, it's the secret group. I like going there because there's usually a crowd of people. It's got a good location. It's right by Toyota Center in the heart of downtown. So I go there. I know at least maybe 6 or 7 people will be there. But it's yeah, that's the whole thing. If you make the comics laugh, you know it's funny 'cause
Yeah.
they know funny,
Well,
as
wasn't that
Patrice
isn't that the
O'Neill would
best?
say.
When you
Yeah.
first start out, Trey, and like comment a comedian you look up to is like, "Hey, you were great," and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like, oh,
Yeah.
that shit helps so much. The encouragement that you get, and yeah, it's like we can be so bitter to each other, but we can also just be so awesome and helpful and
Yeah, no
nice to each
doubt.
other.
No,
It's like, hey, you're a
100%.
comic. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a fraternity a little bit. There's some
yeah,
people that think that they're some people think they're better than everybody, and so but like at the end of the day, we're all just the same type of open micers that's starting to get our shot, you know?
yeah,
And that's I think that treating people the same is the best way to make it through. Like you can be somebody that's maybe some of their jokes don't land, but if you treat people with kindness and try to help them, they'll always remember. A
yeah,
lot of people won't remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel, as Maya Angelou once said. And you know,
yeah,
I think that's the best way of going about it.
yeah. I agree. I think, yeah. Sorry, Jason. I'm
That's okay.
in a little bit, but yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like it's you just you can't let things get to you too much either. I forgot my train of thought, but
That's okay.
it's
I
a,
want to
it's an interesting conversation. I love talking comedy. Yeah, it's the funnest thing ever.
got a QR code on the screen if anybody wants to follow the Iron Patriot. I
Oh
would,
yeah,
yeah,
That guy's a trip.
he is. He
Yeah.
is. Have you watched him?
I've seen the early episodes where he's standing on the stage. I haven't seen his content, but I definitely watch it. He has like a countdown where he's like, there
Yeah.
are 147 days until Kill Tony is. I don't know what it is. Like a lot of people think that guy's like crazy, but I think he's just a big fan.
Yeah. He used to
Yeah.
be on the show in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the
Hard
first
to-
50 to 80 episodes, something like that.
Yeah, he was in an Iron Man costume.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been talking to him recently, and he seems like a pretty fun guy.
Yeah, Jeff Crabtree, I think is his name.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes around to restaurants and does live streams, and the most interesting part, I mean, clearly he's the most interesting part, but aside from him, just watching the people in the background's awesome because some people get really frustrated with him. And
Yeah,
then other people just like he was at Dave and Buster's dancing in the aisles and nobody paid any attention to him.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was sorry, go ahead. He was at a Mexican restaurant the other day, and it seemed like everybody was paying attention to him. And you could see people come and sit down in the booth behind him, and then they would get fed up and move to another booth. And it happened like 2 or 3 times. It's subtle things like that that just make it the best thing to watch.
Yeah, that type of performance art is what I enjoy because like you get to see people in in like their most organic state. That would be fun to do. Like just go up and just start talking to people in the street. I would hope to do that soon. But
oh,
no,
it's
yeah,
fun.
that's brilliant. You get a reaction.
I
Yeah,
used to do some
instantly.
street view ones where I'd go on the street and just have random current event topics. Like I did one about North Korea and a couple other things. But yeah, it's really fun, Trey. You should definitely do it. You got the good personality for it. Like it's sometimes you have to be out there for like a couple hours to get some good stuff. But yeah, usually it's worth it. You find some characters. But didn't that Iron Patriot didn't he rush the stage and then Tony got mad at him? Like,
Yeah.
or was
I think
that?
so? Yeah,
It's hard to tell if someone's crazy or a character too. You're like, you don't know if they're just doing it for the internet.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
rushed the stage, and to his credit, I mean, you're not supposed to rush the stage ever, but he rushed the stage, waved at the camera, and then hopped right off. He didn't do anything. I mean, that it's
Yeah.
crazy to rush the stage. I was going to say he didn't do anything crazy, but as far as rushing the stage goes, it was a very polite rushing of the stage, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Tony has this weird fear of people rushing the stage, but
Yeah. Well,
I guess I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's another thing. It's like you talk shit to so many people. One of them's
Yeah.
bound to, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
to
I'm
flip
kind
out.
of surprised it hasn't happened more.
yeah,
Yeah,
it threw him off
me
the whole
too.
episode.
They
It
got
threw
some
him.
good security, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those security guards. Tony's got plenty of people watching out for him. So
Yeah, like Jesse was saying, as much shit as he talks, I'm sure that's a worry in the back of his mind.
yeah, that somebody's gonna come kick his ass.
Yeah.
Well, people forget that it's comedy. It's like
Yeah, it's supposed
they're-
to be that way.
yeah, it's a character, like Jason said earlier, you know, it's like that's kind of what it is, that you got to lean in if you're going to be a comic. And everyone's like, oh, he's so mean. It's like, that's comedy, making fun of stuff and realizing that you can joke about anything. And
Yeah. The thing is with Tony, you can tell he's like a student of South Park. You watch his material, it's very South Park. It has a South Park flavor to it.
okay.
So
Yeah,
I could tell he's a South Park guy.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched much of his stand-up, but just a lot of Kill Tony.
Yeah, it's not
that's-
bad.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. He had a free special on what was it, Netflix or
Yeah, One Shot, I think.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think you can see it on YouTube now. I'm not exactly sure. I know something is on YouTube. Shit, I forget the name of it now.
Yeah, I saw I know most of his hour. He's got some good jokes. He's got this joke where he talks about how Kanye was crazy. He's like, Kanye is crazy. There's no way that the Jews would control the media. And then like as he starts talking about the Jews, the lights go out.
Nice.
It's really funny.
That's
I
awesome.
love it.
That's kind of his closer. But no, it's very funny. It works well for him. He does a lot of crowd work too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you. Sorry, I heard you earlier saying that you really like William Montgomery. That's kind of fitting. I kind of see you in him a little bit. What other comedians do you like?
I'm a big fan of Bill Burr. I think that's probably my favorite. I really like Brett Butler. I like how she's very satirical. I like a lot of satirical type comics.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Kaufman, obviously.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, obviously the big ones. I really like Tony Woods. I like how he just kind of goes off the cuff.
Yeah.
I like some of my favorites are like local comics here in Houston. I have a couple favorites. My favorite local comic is this kid named Jackson Nami. He's very strange, but I enjoy seeing him on stage because
Yeah.
he's so different. But yeah, my favorite comic of all time is probably Bill Burr. I like Shane, obviously.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah, so that some of those guys are just some of my favorites.
Nice. Yeah, nice choice. What about you, Jason?
My favorites would have to be Mitch Hedberg.
He's
Yeah.
up there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Andy Kaufman, Stephen Wright. I like people that have
Yeah.
just really short, quick jokes.
Yeah, deadpan type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I
also
feel
like
it's harder.
storytellers.
It's hard. I feel like it's harder to get a joke when you're just being, or get a laugh when you're doing deadpan. You know, like
Yeah.
they kind of respond to like the emphasis in your voice, but you're just the same way, and you're still like Mitch Hedberg and both of those guys, Stephen Wright. They just kill it, and they'd be like half. It seemed like they're half asleep on stage, you know,
Yeah.
but they had the attention. Yeah.
Because I saw Mitch Hedberg live, and the whole time his hair was just in front of his face for the most part, and you
Yeah.
couldn't even see him. I mean, but he was killing.
Well, I heard he like slammed Jack Daniels because he was so nervous. Like had terrible stage fright, and he wore his sunglasses because he'd close his eyes on stage a lot of the time. He was
Yeah.
so scared of that's what's crazy. He knew he had to do it, but he was deathly scared of it. And I think he got better over time, but yeah, at first that's what I heard at least. He just like slammed some Jack Daniels, like a fourth of a bottle, put on his sunglasses and go out. Like
Wow.
so,
I hadn't heard that. That's crazy.
yeah, it's pretty nuts that like, you know, you're so scared of this thing that you're one of the best at.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
tried to get his wife on the show, but I think she's got some substance issues herself and
Oh yeah.
hasn't been around. Because I messaged her once, and I forget what it was. She posted something about Mitch, and I said something in the comments, and she was touched by it and messaged me. But
Nice.
she messaged me like 2-part message, but I only got the second part. So she was like, I don't know how that happened. I'll rewrite the first part. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, that's cool. And then she was like, yeah, I accidentally deleted the first part again. Let me rewrite it. And then she
Oh
was like,
boy.
I did it again. Let me just try some other day. And I said, okay. And I never heard from her since.
That's funny.
Hell,
But hopefully she'll be on. Her name's Lynn Shawcroft. She's I saw her with Mitch a long, long time ago. She opened up for him.
That's so crazy. When I first got into comedy, like the big rule was, hey, don't hook up with comics. But ever since I've been in it long enough, like this long, it's like everybody. That's exactly what everybody does.
Yeah, as soon as some girl hops on the scene, man, that's the first thing anybody thinks of is, hey.
oh man.
And we talked about this, I think, before, but the big thing is, hey, do you want to write sometime?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah, like that girl on Kill Tony that's like is from Ohio. It's like, all these guys want to write with me. It's like, yeah, sure they do.
Yeah, that's not what they want to do.
Yeah, that was kind of like that in the Minneapolis comedy scene there, because there wasn't as many female comics. So when there was, everyone got all weird. And
Yeah. That'll happen.
I thought about having her on sometime. She works at the Dayton Funny Bone.
Yeah,
Wow.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. She seems really funny.
Yeah, I saw her, just happened to catch her on another appearance that she was on, and she seemed pretty funny and like a good interview, put it that way.
Yeah.
Good attitude.
So I don't think you answered what your favorite comedians were, Jesse, or did you?
Oh, no, Kaufman definitely is up there. I really like Maria Bamford.
Yeah.
I want to check out those ones that you're talking about, Trey, because I don't think I've heard of the woman you're talking about.
Yeah, Brett. I think her name's Brett Butler.
Okay,
She had a TV show
Yeah, I
on.
was about to say that.
I can't remember what it was called, but she was on Grace Under Fire. Was the
Yeah.
name of it. Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. Sorry.
That was a good TV show.
Yeah, she was kind of hard to work with, but
Really?
yeah, Brett Butler. She was also on the morning show as well on a show called She was this Southern woman that was really funny about growing up in the South, and I thought she was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love female comics. I like I saw Maria Bamford, and it was like my favorite. And she's from Minnesota. Kind of reminds me of her a little bit. So definitely look into Brett Butler.
That's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, Jesse. Is we already talked about it, but I want to go a little further into it. I saw a thing on Instagram where they were saying that that people in Minnesota, instead of calling it doing donuts, they call it whipping shitties.
Oh yeah, I thought that was just a common thing. Yeah, it's funny how stuff is just in the state. I'm like, I always think everyone knows it. Same with like the carts. We call them carts, and everyone else calls them buggies, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe it's just down south, but yeah.
Yeah, we call them carts down here. I know a lot of people that'll call them buggies, but usually people there's so many people with cars down here in Texas, they just kind of overtake the grocery store parking lots.
Oh,
and there's nowhere to park.
Yeah. I was going to say too, my friend Corey, he does this show. He's been a comic for a long time. He moved down to Texas. I think I mentioned it the last time you were on, but yeah, I don't know if you're into Discord or what, but I could get you in contact with them. Maybe do some shows together or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah. And again, and also if you ever come to Minnesota, let me know because I'll take you to some clubs.
That'd be great.
Out there again. So.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've never been to Minnesota. I know it's very cold, but
yeah, it's definitely coming the summer. But yeah, there's a good comedy scene. It kind of becomes somewhat of a dead end. You have to tour and you can get somewhat work in the state. But yeah, there's some good clubs for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you travel much for comedy, Trey?
I usually just go to Austin. I've done a road show in San Antonio, but it usually just kind of stays around Texas. I try to if I'm in another state, like on vacation or something, I'll go and see what the open mics look like. But that's the goal, I guess, is to travel for comedy. But overall, Texas is so rich with open mics that you can just kind of go hit up mics all around the state. But everything's so far away. And
it's
massive state. Yeah.
That's how it is in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever come to Minnesota too, Jason, yeah,
that'd be fun. I would like to come up there.
Corner Bar is the one I worked at in the Seven Corners there.
Because I'm starting to know a little more. I'm starting to know a little more people in Minnesota, so it would be fun to come up there sometime just to hang out.
Oh, it'd be awesome. Definitely hit up some mics. Yeah, that one I was talking about that barely anyone shows up. That guy got a new show at the Corner Bar, and there's actually a crowd. So he waited like 10 years and finally got his crowd. So it's like, that's pretty awesome.
It's cool how a lot of the comics end up working at the comedy clubs too. Yeah. Like I run sound for the secret group, so whenever they have me. Nice. Very rare that they have me up, but I run sound there for them, so I like that.
That's awesome. That helps with networking and stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny how much just how much variety is in comedy. It's like I thought I was going to get sick of it, and I kind of did at one point, but I'm
Yeah.
getting into it a lot more now.
I don't so much get sick of the comedy. I always just get sick and tired of like the politics, like the people
Yeah,
that's the thing I hate the most. And
I know.
but it's just part of it. And if you could separate it, it all works out.
It's so weird. Everyone either goes left or right. It's just I don't get it because it's like both sides to me are idiots. You know, it's like, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they are making changes that affect our lives somewhat. So you have to kind of pay attention. But it's like, quit watching or listening to these idiots. Quit giving
Yeah.
them power. But yeah,
I
don't know.
agree.
It's just a weird thing with the human to like think that this group is better, or like you were saying earlier, Trey, with like the levels. Like everyone thinks, oh, this group is the best or the highest, or
Yeah.
these guys are the happiest because they're Republican or whatever it is. Like it's like there's no secret happiness. Like quit trying to sell that lie. There's just happiness. There's not
Yeah.
like, oh, I got double happiness over here. Come and join this group. Like,
Yeah. It's annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. I agree 100%. I don't like the cliquish type of attitudes that go on around here in Houston. And a
Yeah.
lot of people think, oh, like I'm better than this group or I'm better than him. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
Nobody's better than anyone. So it's very frustrating.
They're like, oh, this guy had his shoe untied, so I'm way better than that guy. It's like these little things we pick out that like we think makes us better than someone. It's like, no, it's not always the case.
Yeah, no. And most of the time it's not the case at all. Yeah.
I saw a guy at a comedy show once, and it was at a comedy club. So usually the expectations are higher at the comedy club than at a bar show or something. And this guy was just tanking, man. But he had so much energy. He was like running around the stage and really interacting with the audience. And I thought, man, if you had good jokes, you would be a killer, you know?
Yeah.
I just wish I had that kind of enthusiasm even when I was bombing.
I think that's a huge thing, man. Like there's a lot of comics that I'm like, why are you still doing it? But they still have that enthusiasm. Like, you know, you gotta, to be on the grind in comedy or any like social media stuff, you gotta be able to like have failures or shit go wrong or bad times. It's like you really gotta just stick out the grind. And a lot of times people get one little thing come up and they're like, oh, I'm done, that's it. But
yeah, absolutely. And a lot of them have substance abuse issues, which it's bad down here in Houston. A lot of people are doing cocaine, and I wish they'd stop, but you know, they're never, that's it's just part of it for them.
Yeah. Back in the day, I'd do that a little bit. But
yeah, I mean, it's one thing, I guess, to do it like once or twice is fine, but like I see people that are always like on cocaine.
I remember one time that one owner of a club got on a moped and tried to go get some cocaine during the open mic, and he got in an accident. Some car hit him, and he still came back. His knee was all banged up, like people were telling him to go to the hospital, but he got the cocaine.
That's all that matters, man.
Yeah, there's a Mitch Hedberg story too. A comedian, Isaac Whitty, he's a Minnesota guy, and he met him and went over forever. Like Mitch Hedberg was like, "Hey, do you want to do some cocaine?" And Isaac Whitty's like, "Yes, doing coke with Mitch Hedberg. This is a dream." And like goes and finds it, takes him forever. Finally gets it, and the story goes he had it in his hands apparently, and he starts walking across the street to go to Mitch, and he falls, and both of his arms go on the ground, and a car runs his arms over, and he didn't go to the hospital. The story goes that he just had fucked up arms and did coke with Mitch Hedberg all night.
Shit.
That's
you're hanging out with Mitch Hedberg. Fuck your arms.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I should ask Whitty if that's true, because I've heard it, but I've never heard it from him.
Yeah, that would be interesting to find out.
Yeah, I should message Whitty. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, you should bring him on your show and ask him about it.
Yeah. I need to start getting some more comics on. I kind of got to start going through the Rolodex again.
Yeah,
I'll have to try to tell him to go on yours too, Jason.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Get some connections going.
Hell yeah.
You probably know some of the people.
Yeah, like I forget her name now. Andy Erickson. I still can't believe. I thought it would be so funny to have two people from Minnesota on the show. And I had no idea they knew each other.
That was like a fate thing, because like somebody told me like, hey, Jason wants to talk to you or wants to get a hold of you, and then I saw Andy on and you asked me to come on, and I was like, all right, I'm supposed to meet this guy.
Yeah,
just worked out
cool.
perfect.
Yeah. Are you still good to stick around, Trey, or you got to go?
Yeah, I can chill for a couple more minutes.
Okay.
Hey, he's a Kill Tony regular now. He doesn't have time for us.
Yeah, this is fun. I wasn't doing anything today. I was happy to join.
Yeah, it's good to see you for sure. It's always been fun. It's cool that you guys let me into the community with you guys. Appreciate it.
Love to have you, man. And thanks for putting up with me today, Trey. For people who don't know, I woke up about 10 minutes before the show was supposed to start. I had my alarm set for like an hour and a half before the show so I could get up, have some coffee and all that stuff. And it didn't go that way.
Well, that happens sometimes.
That's the worst, when you're like, all right, I got to rush. This is what's happening now.
Yeah.
Go
time. I went to bed early and everything.
I kind of like that though. Like, all right, I'm on a mission. Got to get this done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up and I saw what time it was, and I about died. I thought, oh my God, man, I barely have time to even start my computer to do the show.
I got a question. Have either of you guys ever done much sketch comedy? Because I feel like you both could do some like shorts or something that could help.
Not in a while.
Okay. I love sketch. I just ask
too.
everybody. It's just fun to do.
I used to write sketches, but I haven't been in any of them.
Okay.
So
you should write some. I'll shoot one.
Okay. Yeah, I always wrote for other people. For some reason, I could never write for myself to be in a sketch.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably because you're not as self-centered as I am.
Well, I was writing for this TV show called Characters Anonymous. And we all got in it wasn't really a writer's room. We all showed up at a room at a comedy club, and we sat down and had all these ideas. And it was funny to see how many people just wrote ideas just for themselves.
Yeah.
And it was like 90% of the people. And then you get to me and I have all these ideas, but I don't want to be in any of them. And I don't want to be in any of yours either. I just want to write and listen to your ideas.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I always wonder, like, am I an artist or am I just a narcissist that wants to put myself out there a bunch? You know, it's like, you kind of toe the line with that kind of
it's a
comedy. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Do you do any other? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Do you do any other kind of videos, Trey? Do you put your stand up on YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah, every now and again. I'm still trying to figure out how to do videos. I do have a sports podcast.
Oh, nice.
I do it every week. But yeah, I just talk I like to talk football and baseball and all that. It's on I guess it's called The Main Entree. And it's my sports podcast where I just talk sports for like an hour. Yeah.
Are you a Dallas fan then, or Houston?
I used to be a Cowboys fan, but I'm kind of sick and tired of their shit. So I'm now a Los Angeles Chargers fan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd pick Houston over Dallas. I don't know what it is about Dallas. I think it's because they said they're America's team that it got a lot of people upset. Like, just you're the favorite. It's like
they're very pompous and arrogant, and they haven't done anything since I was a baby.
They're so cocky. They make the playoffs, but they lose the first round almost always. It's like, how frustrating is that? You're always getting in it and then just done.
The Texans are the Texans have a much better quarterback too, so it's looking like they're in a better position than the Cowboys.
It's been fun watching that guy. Stroud is a beast.
Former Buckeye, yeah, Ohio State
he?
guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch college more. Think I'd enjoy the NFL more if I got into it.
Yeah, I try to watch every sport. Like I try to watch basketball, football, even a
Nice.
little bit of hockey. I'm trying to get into soccer, but my
Yeah.
main sport is NASCAR. I love NASCAR more than anything.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why, but NASCAR is like what I know the most about. So
Interesting. What do you like about NASCAR? Because I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate it, but I just never really got it. So what's so appealing about it?
I guess just the strategy and like when they need to pit and how aggressive drivers will get, and just the build up to the finish.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and it's not like any other sport. Like there's 40 cars on the track, and you race those guys every week. So I always think that's cool.
Yeah. No, it is impressive. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always try to appreciate stuff even if I don't like it. Or,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those sports that I've watched it before. I don't ever go out of my way to watch it, but when I do watch it, I always enjoy it.
Yeah, it's if you watch the final laps, it gets pretty crazy. But
Yeah.
Like pitting against each other and stuff.
Yeah, they'll all kind of come in and pit, and they're like, was that the right call? Did he pit at the right time? Or
Yeah.
It's just there's so many variables.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like just a little slight movement can help you get past somebody, or just a little mistake and that ruins your chance. Like,
yeah, you're done. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, all these sports are pretty impressive when you really think about them. But yeah, NASCAR.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that Final Destination movie with the NASCAR?
Yeah, with the late models. Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I rewatched all those. It's the dumbest plot in the world. They never explain why that they're all getting killed. It's always just like, hey, we're all on the plane and we're gonna die in the order that we were supposed to, and they never figure out a solution. Like every single one, they die in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I kind of like it because of that. It's like you can't beat death. That's the the plot basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that NASCAR one was one of the gnarliest ones.
Yeah, because they get like their heads ripped off.
Yeah, it's just like they just went more and more ridiculous with the deaths, and just like you watch NASCAR. There's usually not going to be half a dozen cars flying over.
Yeah,
it's just like
most of the times I think like there's been like 3 or 4 times where cars debris has gone into the crowd in NASCAR. The most recent one I could remember was 2009 at Talladega. This car went like into the fence. Oh, and then there was a race at Daytona where like the engine almost got into the crowd. There was like a tire. Yeah, I think somebody got like their jaw broken. But this car went into the fence and the engine was just sitting like right by the flag stand. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's nuts. I didn't even think about that happening. But
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bad. It's happened at the Indy 500 too. Like gas will fly into the crowd. It's bad.
You just got your baseball glove. Hey, I'm gonna catch a tire. Oh wait.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna go catch a spark plug.
Yeah. Oh, this thing's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of those things that you were bringing up about NASCAR, about when the right time to pit is and things like that. That just completely lost on me.
Yeah. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it, a lot more than a lot of people think.
Right. Yeah. I think that's with a lot of things. You're just like, oh, that's just that thing or that sport. But yeah, the more you learn about it, it's like it's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for Matthew Perry.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Bing.
Yeah. I was at a concert when I got that message. I was like, oh, damn.
Were you guys Friends fans?
I was more of a Seinfeld guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I would watch Seinfeld instead. Friends was one of those shows where if I saw it on TV, it wasn't
like bad enough to where I would change the channel. I would usually watch it and somewhat enjoy it, but it wasn't something that I would ever go out of my way to watch.
Yeah,
they're just so mediocre. Like, it kills me. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, there's no effort. It's all just like the generic stuff. It's like, can't stand that.
Yeah, if you watch it without a laugh track, you can tell kind of how unfunny it is.
It's so bad. Yeah. It's just like every line becomes a joke, but it's like you can't. I mean, that's kind of what you do with sitcoms, but they almost did it too much. It was like,
they overdid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seinfeld was a great show, man. I missed that.
Yeah, that was the thing about Seinfeld. If you listen to it without a laugh track, there's still things I can like kind of chuckle and find funny.
Yeah. Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm I really like.
Yeah.
I always kind of wanted Larry David to do another show though, but that's his life, you know. That's what he's always going to do.
Yeah.
Is there another season coming up?
I don't know. I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know because I probably at this point too, he's too old to try to start a whole new thing too. So I'll take Curb. I just like when directors like that only do one thing. I'm like, what would they seem like South Park guys doing a movie or doing another TV show? What would they do? You know?
Yeah, this South Park did a musical, Book of Mormon, and they did a lot of movies. I think they did Team America.
Yeah, they did.
That was great.
And then Cannibal the Musical was like their first movie, I think, even before South Park, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have had some good ones. Basketball was great.
Yeah, that was the one I was trying to think of.
I'm kind of wondering, I guess they're putting all their time into South Park, but you think they could have time for another movie. But I guess the Book of Mormon, like, they're fucking set for life. That thing sold out so much. It was sold out for like years almost. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. I was hoping that Frankie McDonald was going to come back for a surprise appearance, but apparently he either didn't get my message or doesn't want to do it. So with Frankie.
Yeah, you never know with Frankie. He's a very enigmatic character.
He's looking up the weather right now.
So where can people find you online, Trey?
Okay, well, my Instagram is juggalo_Trey23 or juggalo_Trey_23, and my Twitter is sportsrm749.
Okay.
So those are the two main places.
What about you, Jesse?
You can find me on Twitter at Jesse Towler, and then I'm also on Twitch and YouTube with the same name, Jesse Towler, just my name. What was your sports one, Trey?
Yeah, that's sportsrm749. Also, if you want to listen to my podcast, it's called The Main Entree, not entree like the food, but ONTREY. It's on Spotify. Nice. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on anything you can hear any place you can hear podcasts. It's on there.
Okay, nice. Great. All right. I don't think I really have anything to plug. If you're watching this, that's my plug. And if you're not watching this, there's nothing I can say. All right, guys. Thanks for being on. I really appreciate it. And see you guys next week.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is fun.